great responsibility step that a lot of people fail to do, because oftentimes we're in denial, and credit means everything. A lot of people are recovering from a very, very difficult recession period, housing crisis, etc. A lot of people got hurt, a lot of people are trying to recover, and so for you guys to come out this early in the morning on a Saturday, you could have been doing anything. To come out here this morning and get some information is a big deal to me. For those who are getting ready to close on their homes, congratulations. I think that's awesome. To have your own home is very empowering. You'll find that, and it'll take you to another level. Something about having your own home. Coffee tastes a little bit different in your own kitchen. Are you with me right now? So congratulations to you guys on that. And those are just here that's just seeking some information here. I just tell people all the time that wisdom is the principal thing. With all that get an understanding, right? So anyways, I'm glad to be here. I'm going to first thank Jessica so much for giving me an opportunity to have this platform here. She's an expert. Everybody you know out there, you need to send them right here to her. Because so many people right now need to know what's available to them. Many of us don't know the benefits, the opportunities that are available to us simply because we just don't ask, and then when we do ask, we just don't show up. You've got someone here that is bearing her time and giving of herself to help you guys. So there are other people like you out there, and you need to give a shout, let them know about this program, because I think it's a powerful thing. I'm very, very grateful and thankful she's allowed me here. And then I want to thank my brother Matt for connecting me to Jessica, because I tell people all the time the blessings are in the connection, right? Yes. It's not about always what you know, it's who you know, right? All right, I like participation. Is that all right? I like participation. We need more than sugar this morning. All right? We need to be able to have some synergy and some energy in the room as well. So we want to kind of make it enjoyable for you, right? Because this is an exciting time for you. Right? So if nobody's patting you on the back, you got to learn sometimes to wake up and pat yourself on the back. Is that right? Yeah. My name is Monique Carter. I'm a real estate broker. I've been in real estate for 21 years. My clients are all across the country. I work with a lot of bishops and pastors and first-time home buyers and entertainers. And one of my dreams have always been professional athletes. I just like working with those guys. So that's what I've been doing here. I'm a short sale specialist. I'm a certified short sale specialist. What does that mean? Well, I've gone to class. That doesn't always make you an expert, right? You got to also get into the grind. You got to get in and do some short sales and experience what that's all about. So I've done over 750 of them, short sales, being able to dissolve over $100 million of debt for homeowners that have been underwater with their homes that just needed some help. I've sold over 3,000 homes in my career. So I've been in the early stages back in '96 when the market was flourishing. I've also transitioned during the housing crisis when a whole lot of folks were losing their homes. Y'all know somebody that lost their house? Family, friends, co-workers, best friends, pastors, right? A lot of people did not escape the housing crisis. When I came into the real estate market, it was 98,000 agents. In the market today, and I'm talking Michigan, in the market today, there's less than 17,000 agents. I'm a director with the board of realtors, and I don't see any of this to try to brag or put anything. I just want you to understand here that I come in here and I understand each and every one of you because I've dealt with each and every one of you through so many clients. People that are afraid, got anxiety, unsure, been hurt, been mistreated, lied to, deception. It's just been, highest and best, losing a good house. It didn't appraise. I've been there. I've walked it. And I've had clients that I've been able to meet and develop a real bond with. Because in our industry here, it's about people. And when you're with people that don't care about you and are looking out for your very, very best of interest, it doesn't matter how many homes I've sold. Each person that comes to me, they're the most important person to me at that point in my life. And you have to connect with people that feel you like that and that can meet you at that level. You can't meet with people, it's about a commission. And you can tell when it's about money. Is that right? Yeah. You can also tell when you have someone that says, I really care about you, I want to make sure that inspection goes well. I want to make sure this home appraises, you're not paying more for the home than what you should. Hey, I think we can get some down payment assistance. I think we can get some concessions. We want to work with someone that can stand as a representative to you. Because if you could do this yourself, you wouldn't need me, would you? If you could finance your own loan, if you could buy your own house and represent yourself, you wouldn't even need us. And many of you would say, if I could do this, I would, because I'm running into such poor representation out there, not finding positive agents out there, not finding them being skillful and careful and really representing. There's been so much of that out here that you got to weed through the process to make sure that your relationship is the right relationship for you. It's not about the name of the company. It's about who you're connecting with and what they can bring to your party. Is that right? Because at the end of the day, guys, you're the boss. You control this. You're just having representation that's going to help you to understand the process. So let's talk about buying a home. Let's talk about what's important. This market around the country, in the last several years, over 14 million homeowners lost their properties. Over 14 million and more are losing their homes. Back in the heyday, as I call it, people were buying homes hand over fist. There was subprime lending, interest-only loans. Come on, you guys, you know all about that, right? And many of us jumped into these deals, bought 4 and 5 homes, doing the buying and flipping. You guys know all about that. And it backfired. A lot of us got into the game because it looked easy. It looked like anybody could get a house. And many of us that shouldn't have gotten homes, got homes. And at the end of the day, many of us are suffering now because the most degrading thing that can happen is to have your door tagged where the whole community can see that your home on the block is being taken. It's demoralizing. It's upsetting. And I have clients that come to me, good people. They're not just in their 20s. They're not in their 30s. Some of them are in their 60s. It was their retirement home, and they lost it because their rates adjusted. Do you understand? When you are buying yourself a home, you want to make sure you get with proper representation. You want to make sure that, and I know that going into the internet and technology, I understand that that's the new way, I get it. But at the end of the day, if I go on the internet because I need to go in for a heart surgery, I'm not going to just meet them on the corner. I'm going to go into the hospital or doctor's office and I'm going to meet them. Excuse me, let me get some water. You want to meet your realtor in the office. You don't want to meet them at the property only. It's unsafe. There were more murders last year with realtors and people going into homes that were vacant. They go with squatters, people that were hanging out in the properties, all kinds of danger going on because people are finding ways to rob people. They think that you are vulnerable. These vacant homes, they'll meet you there and they'll have other people around those homes waiting too. That's why I tell people, you want to meet an agent in the office and you want to verify them. You want to walk in and make sure, with the age that we're in today with technology, we can make ourselves look bigger than what we are. We can make ourselves look like we're in a Donald Trump building. And then you find out that some of us are working out of the trunk of our car. You want integrity. And you want someone that is skillful, that understands the nuances of this market, that understands the wave of this market, that understands the strategy of this market. This is a market right now where you're dealing with low inventory. Low inventory. That means you're dealing with highest and best, bidding competition, bidding wars. That's happening all the time. And our industry is a very unique industry. It's kind of like a club. and the people in our industry that have endured and that have remained and that have stayed, we know one another. We know the agent that's lazy. We know the agent that is productive. We know an agent that can close. We know an agent that's deceptive. We know an agent that doesn't answer their phones and never can close. We know who they are. And guess what happens? If I got this beautiful home that's in Southfield or in Royal Oak or in Berkeley or in Novi, and you guys want that house and I'm the listing agent, and then that purchase agreement shows up and I got 3 of them, I'm going to look at who the agent is. Don't think that we don't. Because if I'm the listing agent and this is my client and she needs to sell her home and she's got this beautiful home, I know that this is my career, my brand, my reputation. And if I do a bad job, what do you think she's going to tell people about me? Monique is horrible. Don't ever list your house with her. Are you with me? So therefore, my role is to make sure she's happy. So when I get 3 offers on the table, and I'm looking at the 3 agents, who do you think I'm going to go with? The one that's got the strongest lender, and the one that has an agent I can recognize. Because I'm going to see who they are, and I'm going to be able to let her know this one is going to close the deal. Our industry has a lot to do with reputation and branding. A lot to do with it. A lot of it. I got a deal that I just put on the table yesterday with one of my clients. That agent knew who I was. You know what I did? Hey, John, how you doing? Over at Remax. How you doing, John? Listen, I've got my client. Now, we didn't come in with no little watered down purchase agreement. You're telling me I love this house. I got to have this house, Monique. And I'm going to pull the numbers and I'm going to show you the numbers. Because you got to know the numbers. You got to understand if they're pricing something a certain way, you can't just come to me and say, you know, the house is going for 150. Let's offer 130. Who taught you that? Who taught you that? Well, let's just see what happens. You're going to keep losing houses and keep losing houses and keep losing houses because the seller is going to say you're not serious. And then I show you the numbers and all day long it says 150. All day long from the north, south, east, and west. Within a 1-mile radius, apples to apples, I'm showing you, and this house is to die for, and you know you're going out here and you're seeing homes not clean, issues with them, got a stench when you walk in the door, the community is not maintained, and then you see the home, it shows up. The home of my dream shows up. Well, you know what? I've been on the internet on Zillow, and I want to offer 130. Who taught you that? Who did that? I tell my clients, we're here to win. We're here to win. Don't nobody tell LeBron James, do a half layup. They tell him score. You need to score right now. Don't miss it either. And that's what you have to understand. With low inventory, there's not a lot out there. You have 3 sellers out there. You have a bank-owned seller, where there's a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of issues. On FHA deals, they don't even want to look at you because of concrete issues, broken windows, tilted garage, scraping and painting, all of that. Then you got a short sale seller. Short sales don't take a short time to close. It could be a year. Even though short sales is a settlement arrangement, a lot of investors are angry that you owe me $150,000 and the market is only bearing $50,000. There's a $100,000 deficiency and the investors are mad. They're not quick to excuse you from a $100,000 debt. If someone owed you $150,000 and gave you $50,000, and there was still a $100,000 deficit, wouldn't you want the rest of your money? You'd be like, payment plan, or when you want something? So we think that the banks are just going to just jump and bump and relieve you of that deficiency. No, it takes time. And people are going into short sales, and it's 6, 7, 8 months, and it may not go through because they may be right at the redemption period. And then you have the traditional seller. That's the best one. The one that you can get the keys 45 days later. But do you know how many of them are out there now? Not many. Not a lot of good traditional homeowners.
Is that the when you buy straight from the homeowner?
Basically, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's the one that you really, really want, is the traditional homeowner.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything against bank-owned properties, but you're going to be challenged because you're dealing with a lot of competition with the investors that have cash. And all day long, if you have an agent that's looking, that has that listing, and you're coming in with an FHA, some of you need down payment assistance, right? It's a good plan. But the bank or the listing agent's going to say, can they close? The question's always going to be, can you close? And so the stronger you are with your offer, and that means you have to have someone that is strategic, out of the box thinking. I have clients that I will say to them all day long, don't come with a $500 earnest money deposit. You know you want this house. This is your life is getting ready to change forever and ever and ever. And when you go into buying a home, you got to go into this thing for real with some passion. When I bought myself my home, I threw my whole self in there. I didn't come in with a $500. I came in with $5,000 earnest money deposit. And I'm not suggesting that you all come in with $5,000, but if you know you're buying a $100,000 home, you need to put on the table at least $2,000. It goes towards your closing cost. But it tells the seller they're serious. If I'm looking at 3 offers, I got one at $500, one at $1,000, one at $2,000, I'm looking at that one. You're more serious to me. And you don't want to do a weak pre-approval either. Well, I'm pre-approved. I got it over the phone with blah, blah, blah mortgage company. That pre-approval is only as good as a few black numbers on a sheet of white paper. Because if you say to them, this is how much I make, and on top of that I have overtime, and they calculate you off of what you told them, and generally when we tell people stuff, we're not telling them the straight 411. So we have this information, we go out and find a house. And now you start submitting W-2s, bank statements, all your information, and now this document looks different than this document. We put an offer on the table. Yours got accepted because you got a strategic agent who's well known and they got the deal done. You don't qualify now. Your interest rate is this, your house note is here. You can't qualify because we took the easy way in, thinking we can buy one of the largest investments in our life. We didn't do the work. The work starts right here, in the hub, in the locker room. Getting it done for real. Because you know what? I can walk through Somerset Mall better with money in my pocket than I can with none in my pocket. Your confidence is heightened when you go in prepared. When you're prepared, you're not going into a transaction with anxiety. I have husbands and wives that come to me. It's the most amazing thing when they come in and see me. Because they're like, is she for real? Is she like really for real? And they come in, I meet them, and I say, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you coming to talk to me. What is it that you desire me to do? What is your game plan? What is your time frames? If I found it tomorrow, would you be ready to pull the trigger? Blah, blah. I like to ask those kind of questions. The woman is normally plugged into me. The brother's kind of sitting back. Yeah, you know, looking in the sky, whatever. And this is the amazing thing, because I move right in on the brother. So I'll say, you know, to the wife, can I talk to your husband for a minute? And what happens is that I connect and meet him right where he's at. sometimes you got brothers, men, they don't think that that home is going to change their life. They don't think it's going to move them anyway. It's just a house. I've had guys that fall out on the floor in homes when they see their house. When they see that their man cave, when they see that landscape, I have had guys that like can't stop crying. But they were the same ones that were like, yeah, whatever she's talking about. And then they come running in my office, Miss Carter, you gotta get me that house. I need that house. Please get me that house. I've had it more with men than with women. Something about home ownership, it's life-changing. But you have to be prepared. You have to have a strong earnest money deposit. Don't even come to the table with a pre-approval if you don't have money. You have to be prepared. You have to work with an agent also, though, that is asking for everything for you. I like to ask for the world. When I have clients, I ask for all lighting fixtures, window treatments, all the appliances. I want stove, refrigerator, washer, dryer, disposal, dishwasher. And then I ask for a 1-year home warranty. Then I ask on top of that, can you give them about $3,500 towards closing costs? That's who you want. You want somebody that's not afraid to go for what they know for you to get whatever you want. When I bought my home, I got everything. Everything was asked for. And it taught me something. And I bought my home as a brand new agent. I was so nervous. My broker presented for me. He was a Jewish guy who loved me. I was a worker, helping people to buy the home of their dreams. I had just left corporate America. And I wasn't ready. I was afraid to buy a house, the responsibility. And he said to me one day, he pulled up a chair to me and said, when you get a home, it's going to take you to another level of confidence. You're going to walk with so much authority and boldness. You're going to dream dreams and have visions, and you're going to want more out of life when you do this, Monique. You will be better in real estate when you buy a home. He's absolutely right. It changed my whole life. You have to go into this, though, totally prepared, because you will compete. You might sit here and say, and there may be some that are in the process of closing their homes right now that are saying, I've been through that competition. I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. When you put an offer on the table and yours was the best offer. I had a woman that came into my office. She's an IT expert. And she came to me, met her in my office. We spent a couple hours together. I kind of started giving her the rules of engagement and said, I want you to make sure that you have a conditional approval. She said, well, I've already gone to P&C. And this is what I said. I don't get into steering or anything like that. I said, get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with a second opinion. Get a second opinion. Gave her a couple different people. I said, go. She went to this other company. This other company didn't look at her student loans. She had student loans. She could qualify, but she had student loans. And they were qualifying her conventional when really she was FHA. Because she had not submitted and given everything that she needed to do. The other company, she gave them everything. What if we would have found her a condominium? Most condos won't even accept FHA. They accept conventional. I find homes fast. If I would have found her the home of her dreams in a condo and she didn't qualify, how do you think she would have felt? Devastated. Devastated. It is devastating to find your home and you can't close it. It's the most devastating thing in the whole wide world, to find a home. And you may not think that, you may think nothing of what I'm saying to you. I know what I'm telling you. We found out what she qualified for. We were all set, ready to go. She made her decision. We went out there and we found this home that was just gorgeous. It was gorgeous, an absolutely gorgeous property. And when we called on that property, they said there were no offers on it. We went running back to the office to put this offer in, and guess what happens? Another offer's coming in. She was like this. I said, no, don't get that way. You're prepared. You're prepared. The home was going for $159,500. I called the agent, said I got an offer coming in. He says, well, don't rush because I have another offer coming in. I said, oh God, you gotta be kidding me. I was gonna offer on that property. I told her after I looked at the numbers, I said, offer the 159.5 with concessions. When I found out from the agent that there was another offer coming in, I shift gears. I had to shift gears because I want her to win this house. Now that I know there's another offer in it, shift gears. I pulled the comps on the property. I knew that the home wasn't selling for more than 157. It was on the market for 159.5. And what I said to her was this: offer 165 with no concessions. Whoa, it's only 157. Why would you offer more? Strategy. Strategy. I need to make the Kleenex here. Strategy. Strategy. In this market, strategy is going to be important for you. I showed her the numbers. The home will not appraise for more than 157. Offer 165. No concessions. Because they're going to go with the strongest offer. I tell the clients all the time, when you see a beautiful home, let the appraiser be the one to offend the seller, not you. By you coming in lower because of the numbers that you see is a form of offending. Homeowners that beautiful homes, believe it or not, they love their house. That is their home. And when you come in and say, I'll offer 150, you've offended them. Let the appraisal come back at 145. Because if I'm showing you the numbers, you can see the numbers. Does that make sense to you? Well, in this instance, we offered more. But guess what? Her offer didn't get accepted. She came to my office crying. Cried and cried and cried and cried. I said, Juliet, I don't want you to cry anymore. You gave the best offer that you could possibly give. You put down $4,000, you did it at 165, you didn't ask for no concessions, but the other offer was a conventional offer. They went with conventional over the FHA. You will deal with some of this, folks, in your processes. Don't let it destroy you, because guess what? If it's meant for you to have it, you're going to have that property.
And what is the definition of conventional?
Well, we've got a lender here. I'm gonna let the lender. Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up real soon here, but let me just tell you what happened with it. And I can answer it, but I want the lender. I want the lender to do that.
No, you're fine.
No, you're good. And that's a good question too. Ask all that you can ask. Get all the information you can. You can never have enough information. But what happened was that she didn't get that home, and like I shared with her, was if that home was meant for her, she would have had that home. We went out last night. And we found her home and it got accepted. So at the end of the day here, what I would leave you with is this. Make sure, for those that have already gone through it and get ready to close, I think it's awesome. It's a beautiful thing, and congratulations to you again. For those that are just kind of getting your foot wet, meet with that lender. It's not enough to do it over the phone. When you're talking about home ownership, you got to take, this is one of the largest decisions in your life. It's next to salvation or having a child or getting married or having a major surgery. You have to take your real estate and your home ownership and where you're going to lay your head at night and it being your sanctuary. You have to take it very seriously, very, very, very seriously. I have clients that'll call and they'll say, Ms. Carter, can you meet me at this property? I saw it on homes.com. And I said to them, you know what, I thank you for the call, but I tell you what we need to do is we need to have you to come on in my office. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's talk. Oh no, I'm not going to meet you at the office. Our industry, unfortunately, with realtors and mortgage people too, we have dumbed down our professional careers by running out to homes, meeting people, not introducing ourselves, not having you to come in and treating you like the VIP you are. We've done that. And now, when it comes to professional standards, I'm a director with the Board of Realtors, and we talk at table conversations quite a bit. And we're trying to bring back professional standards in the industry. It is your investment. It is a write-off. It is your home. It is what you work hard for every single day. We have to stop dumbing it down by running out to properties thinking that we're going to get it faster by doing that. No, you're not. You're going to get it more efficiently, and you're going to get it, more positively when you put it in the hands of real experts and professionals. There's an expert lender here that's going to share some insight and wisdom with you. But do you guys have any, let me say this also to you very quickly. You have to do private inspections. You have to do private inspections. Do not let anyone tell you, if you do a private inspection, you're going to blow the deal. Do not let anyone tell you that. You have to do private inspections. Private inspections can become a tool for negotiation. Earnest money deposits don't get lost if the private inspection doesn't go well and you don't want to buy that home. Earnest money deposits get lost as a result of breaching contract. Private inspections are paramount. You have to have them. You must have them so that you can verify the structural, the mechanicals, etc., that the home is habitable, it's safe at the end of the day. And you want to get a great inspector, not a buddy. Get away from these, my cousin is a good agent and my cousin, you know what, when people come to me with that, I tell them next. I don't even waste my time with that. Your cousin doesn't have accountability to you because they're your cousin. So we have to get away from cousins and get around some professional people. Same with inspectors. You want people, besides your cousin don't even want you to get that beautiful house.
Exactly.
They're not wanting you to get that beautiful, gorgeous home you got, curb appeal plus, the essence of elegance. They living in an apartment, and they're your agent. So
Inspections expensive?
they're not. They really aren't. You're going to see a lot of it's predicated off the square footage, but generally I'm seeing inspections running anywhere between $230 to maybe $255,
Yeah, that's
something
usually the
like
average.
that.
When you have a home inspector, he's gonna come in and go over.
Oh yeah, they'll go over the numbers
Yeah,
with you and all
that's
that.
average.
Yeah, but does anyone have any questions for me? Any questions at all? I mean, I don't care what it is. Go right ahead, sir.
Definition of concession.
Yes, thank you. That's good. Generally what we do is, and the lender's going to also talk about that, but generally what we like to do is we do like to ask the seller to assist you in some closing costs. And so what we would do is we would go ahead and have those monies, it would be rolled into your mortgage. So for an example, if you offered $100,000 on a house, I would ask for 3% to help you to close on the home, which would be about $3,000. Yeah, the lender will talk about that too, but that's good. That's good. I always tell people, get as much as you can, but use wisdom, because if you're in a situation where you're competing against another offer, for an example, and you really don't need the concessions, you really don't need the concessions, and you're competing, and the difference between you getting concessions on a particular property and you losing that house, some people don't want to lose a beautiful home for $3,000. It wasn't worth it.
Right.
So it's strategy. It's strategy. You got to get with people that understand strategy and out of the box thinking and know when to pull the trigger, when not to pull the trigger, when to hit the light, when not to hit the light. Some of my clients, I will say all day long, based off of the situation, let's go for the concessions. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to put you at a disadvantage. But there are some clients I will say, if you do concessions, you will lose this house. And I don't want you to lose this house over $2,500 concession. Because some people, when they find a home of their dream, they can't get over it. They see that house, they can't get over it. Every other home they look at, they compare it to the one they lost. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And the lender's going to also tell you too that if you are in a situation where, for an example, the home is going for, $159.9 as an example, and you know you love this home, and you know it just hit the market yesterday. You know how you look at that ticket and they tell you it just hit the market yesterday. And this is a community you always wanted to be in. It's the neighborhood you've always wanted to be in. Everything about this is what I want. and you know it's low inventory, you know that it's a popular home, I tell people, go above asking price. 165, that's $5,500 more. That's $2 more a month in your house note. Uh-oh. Really? When I tell people, I'm like, you know what, did you know by going up $5,000 to beat everybody at the table, right, is $2.50 more a month. Off for 165. I do that with some of my clients. They're like, you crazy, Monique. You didn't have too much coffee. Yes, I did. I tell people this straight up. I'm not gonna jank you. You need to know the right on. You need to know, how do I win? How do I win? So what I do is, at the end of the day, you're the final decision maker. You're the final decision maker. But wouldn't you like to leave the room knowing she told me everything I needed to know? She didn't withhold any information from me. Some people are offended by it. You might be offended right now. Hello, somebody, y'all. Come on with it. You want to win in this season. This is your time. This is going to be the best year of your life. The best year of your life is this year. And you need to know how to win. Any other questions? Any questions? Any questions at all? You have a question for me?
The good thing also, you guys have her number and email. Some questions are going to pop up after you leave the class or you're researching more, so feel free to contact her anytime to ask any questions.
Yes.
Do you work, you said that you work with other realtors? Like if I decide to have a primary realtor and a secondary realtor, would that be the best way of looking at this, or would that be just going with one realtor for the whole?
Definitely one. It will be definitely a conflict of interest. And that's good. I had a young man that came to me yesterday, actually. Yesterday morning, I met with him early. And he said, he didn't know any better. He really didn't. Young guy, first time buyer. And he said, I have another agent I'm working with, and then I saw you on Zillow. Saw my reviews on Zillow. And I said, oh, okay, all right. He said, so you know, I'm going to work with him, and then I'm going to work with you. And then I said, no, we gotta talk about this for a moment. Now, he never met that agent in the office, but he came to mine because I invited him. So he walked in and he saw it looked like a shrine and all these awards and coffee and, you know, reception area. And, you know, I came out and, you know, I looked kind of cute, you know, put on a little bit of smell good for the brother, right? And real sharp guy and young professional marketing guy, and you know, he was so excited and he was just talking, and I said, what we need to do here is this: we have to now make a decision. We got to draw a line in the sand, and we got to choose who you really feel is going to be the best one. I had this big sign that says choose me, and but anyways, he made a decision. He says, my mom and my dad, they're going to be involved and they'll be coming to the home. And I said, that's great, love to meet them, let's get them on the line. And introduce myself to them. You do those things to those warm fuzzy type of things, you know, what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And so he was like, I'm going to call the agent and let him know, you know, thank you. And I said, don't hurt his feelings, just let him know you've made a decision, you know, and that's what it is decision making. It's not about hurting anyone's feelings. It's about, you have to go with the chemistry, the right relationship that's going to meet you where you're at to help you to get where you're trying to go. Does that make sense? Yes. If you don't have any other questions, my information's, oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask a question for
Sure.
you. When we're making an offer, why do they need to put down an EMD for the contract to be sealed, and why does an EMD can't be a loan?
Ah, that's good, good. I'm going to let the lender talk about why it cannot be a loan, number one, but I will talk about an earnest money deposit. That is your consideration, and that is what actually, you know, makes it a legal and binding agreement, is the earnest money deposit. It'll be held in a trust, interest-bearing account, which cannot bear any kind of interest whatsoever. And it is state law. It has to be in a trust account, and it cannot be touched. Absolutely cannot be touched. So you need to understand that if you do put up an earnest money deposit, it has to be deposited immediately. But if you were into a situation where you decided not to move forward on a home, there's a mutual release in place, you are to get your earnest money deposit immediately. And if you run into a problem with that, I mean, seriously, that brokerage could be in serious trouble. We cannot tamper with an earnest money deposit, ever. Your money cannot be tampered with. I just want to let you know that. That's very important. So yeah, that's your consideration, that's your good faith, and that's what really consummates or seals the transaction. All right, my information's there. I've taken up probably more time than what I should. Jessica's going, I'm going to be in trouble with her. But I've enjoyed you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. And you guys, you know what? Really, share with everyone everything that Jessica's doing here, because it's a big deal what she's doing to change lives. And she's changing lives, you know. And that's what this is really all about. So good to meet you guys. God bless you, and wish you guys all the very best of luck. Okay?
Thank you.